ready. And if you're not sure, like what kind of bolster or blocks or that, let me know and I can send you some links. But it would be awesome if everyone had 2 blocks, like a bolster like I'm sitting on, or just fluffy pillows and a strap for this next little segment. Okay, so glad to see each of you. Thank you for coming. Welcome. I'm going to call this class like an energy kind of flush and revitalization. So hopefully what you can feel today is kind of like letting go of stagnant energy or just kind of frenetic, stressful energy, because kind of giving your body a chance to flush that out, and also to kind of like revitalize the energy in your body. There's so much energy changing and shifting, and that will continue through this month and towards the end of the month when Mercury goes retrograde. And so it's such an important time to really be great managers of our energy, because we really can't control the constant shifts, right? There's so much happening, not only in our political world, but just energetically. And that energy is such a different frequency for a lot of us, for really all of us. And so we're having to get used to, in some ways, housing that energy and being able to relate to that energy. So I'm just finding that it's requiring a lot more dedication to the practice that I have of making sure that I'm not letting the world or people influence my energy, but that I'm able to stay strong and committed to my self-care and my energy management. So knowing when I need to take a shake off or some deep breathing or take a time out is really important. So I want to encourage us all to be using our practices when we need them. So we'll start with. So go ahead and find a spray of choice, something that allows you to kind of sweeten your energy and your moods, whatever it is you're feeling today. Like what scents draw you that help you kind of uplift or kind of enhance your energy. And then close your eyes and travel inward. So start with what is. So just kind of noticing how you woke up on a Saturday morning, how you feel physically, what you notice in your body, how you feel mentally, what kind of thoughts are circulating, what do they feel like in your body. Noticing your mood and how you feel. And we're doing all this without really judging if we should shift it or change it or if it's helpful or not helpful, just knowing what is. And just notice your energy level. Notice how all that's happening within you and around you has impacted you. You have low energy, medium energy, high energy. And welcome whatever you find as the most perfect starting place for your practice today. That you can show up just as you are, with everything that comes with you in this moment. And that's the most perfect way that you can begin. You don't have to shift or change yourself. You don't have to edit yourself. And you don't even have to make a shift in your energy today. It's just that ability to show up for whatever is within you and working with it as skillfully as we can, as generously and compassionately as we can, and being open to what happens when we engage. Because the choice is always to disengage, right? To resist. And we also have that choice to play with our energy. So in that spirit of play, invite your intention in. So bring your hands to your heart, bow towards your heart, and take a moment to reflect upon what this practice can offer you. So maybe you want to offer something to your practice, or you'd like to work towards something, again, with that openness. And then take a deep breath in. Lift your arms up, stretch like you're sending your intention out. On the exhale, press your hands out and away, sending that intention outward. And taking a moment to feel the impact of your intention. Okay, so blink your eyes open, and we're going to start with breath work. And I'm going to start kneeling, because I've been liking the kneeling for this type of breath work. So we've been working with breath of fire. And although it is a pranayama, so it is an energetic breath practice, it's really a great clearing practice. So I have been really loving this breath work when I notice myself getting agitated or stressed or frustrated or just feeling tired and sluggish. This is a great breath to just go right into, okay? And so what we're trying to do is get the belly to move. So if you put your hand here, I want you to feel your belly moving in and out. It's really important that this physical movement is happening in your solar plexus. So if that's hard to do, keep your hand there. And if you need to breathe out your mouth at first to get the feeling of the exhale being the driver of the movement, then keep your mouth open and breathe that way. And if you get used to it, then we'll transition to the breath through the nose. But it's a forceful exhale. And on the inhale, you just let the belly soften. So it's kind of like this. I'm doing it through my mouth just to show you. So it can be fast and it can be slow, but the most important thing is that your belly is moving, right? So you can get the feel for the energy moving from the solar plexus, okay? So either keep your hand there or you can release your hand. And for the first round, we're just gonna close our eyes, tune inward, and we're gonna go for about 30 seconds, okay? So your pace, mouth open if you need to, or mouth closed if you're able, out through the nose, okay? Ready and go. Take a deep breath in. Imagine like a hot air balloon lifting from the pelvic floor. So feel your sit bones squeeze in. Feel the energy rise as you draw the belly up, the heart up, the throat up without tensing to the crown of your head. And then let it go. And take a moment to feel and sense any shifts in your body. And then I'm going to turn my palms to face up, and we're going to go a second round, this time 45 seconds, so a little bit longer. Stay at whatever pace works for you. Ready, go. Stay as aware as you can, focusing at where you're feeling the energy. So maybe that's your solar plexus. Maybe it's the center of your brain. Just keep that breath going. Stay awake and aware. You're almost there. Breathe in. Feel your sitting bones draw together. Feel your navel lift. Feel your heart space lift. Feel the energy drawing upward like a straw that you're sipping into the crown of your head. And when you need to let it go out through your mouth. Pause and just feel. Notice any shifts in your mental framework, your emotions, your energy, just even a sense of space in your body. Okay, we're gonna do one more round for a minute. Again, you can keep hands down, you can keep your mouth open. If you're able, put your hands up at 60 degrees. Fold your fingers back so that your fingers are just at the base of your knuckles and your thumbs point inward. And we're gonna go for a minute. Ready? And go. Now, oftentimes when we do this breath work for longer, like inner resistance will kind of surface because it's like uncomfortable or awkward. And that's an actually really good sign of kind of promoting kind of that stirring of energy that we can shift, right? That's that lower mind kind of like, I don't want to be uncomfortable. That's hard and difficult. And this is where we, again, practice that ability to overcome, right, those inner resistances and rise above with your capacity. So this is kind of like how we shift those things, to make that conscious choice to be a little bit more curious. So keep going. When we lift the arms, we kind of help lift the energy to the higher energy centers, which helps clarify the mind from like a dull, sluggish kind of presentation to more vibrant, creative. You're almost there. Five, four. Deep breath in. Hold at the top, feel that lifting of the energy from the base of your body up, like you're lifting all that creative energy, all that potential, and then turn your palms to face out and exhale. Nice work, you guys. Take a moment, pause, feel it. And then take your arms to the side, either touch your shoulders or behind your head and stretch to the right and let your hips kind of move to the left. So hips to the left, stretch to the right, breathe in. Let your hips move to the right, stretch to the left. And just be a little bit more rhythmic. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Couple more. And then inhale, lift up, press your palms up, stretch. And then exhale. If you can, join your hands behind you to interlace. And it's okay if you just need to grab your waist or reach your hands back. And then fold forward, resting the kind of the top of the forehead on the mat. Feel that stretch across your chest. Make sure the hips hold most of the weight so that you don't have a whole lot of weight in the head. And then releasing your hands, roll up nice and slow. Roll those shoulders up and back a few times. Roll them forward a few times. And then just come to downward dog for a moment before we stand. We're going to keep kind of sloughing off and resetting the energy. Just come to down dog and just pedal the legs for a moment. Waking up your feet. So maybe lift and lower the heels a bit. Pedal your legs as you swing your hips. Then take some open mouth exhales. Maybe you bubble your lips. One more time. And then either walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands, doesn't matter. We're just going to come to a forward fold. And then bend your knees and roll all the way up. And we're just going to shake a little bit. So we've done this before. So make sure you shake every part of your body. So shaking wrists, arms, ankles. And I want you to imagine that you could just shake off heaviness, lethargy, stress, other people's stuff, externalized pressures, obligations that don't feel very resonant, just kind of like anything. And move in whatever way kind of lets you say, see ya. So shake everything, move your body in weird ways that allow you to keep breathing. Shake off any tiredness. And then just stand for a moment. Feel that. Kind of notice all the difference in energy when we just move around and shake it off. Notice how that might affect the clarity of your mind. Okay, so we did this on, I think, a couple days ago. So turn your toes out a bit, heels in, arms are gonna come up. We're gonna have the palms face out. We make a fist and we squat. And we strike the sides of the ribs. This is one of my favorite kriyas because it really just moves stagnation and it's gonna help wake you up. So inhale. Go as slow as you need. Feel the strength of your legs. This is a great one, again, for those knees, right? Because we're bending and straightening, so do hip hinge. And just imagine waking up your energy. Like we're almost like it was asleep. You're waking up that sense of vitality. that sense of sovereignty to direct your energy the way you want today. So you're striking the ribs, waking up the lungs. Keep the breath nice and deep. 15 more seconds. Rise it up. Hold, lift, feel the heels squeeze together, feel that lift of energy all the way up your spine. And exhale. Pause and hold. Just kind of noticing. This is a great substitute for another glass of coffee or anything else at times. Okay, so keep the feet weighted. We're going to take the right hand to the heart, left hand goes back. That's your inhale. Exhale. You're sniffing in the breath. Legs stay rooted. And you're going to center your awareness kind of at the third eye so that you're not dizzy. Now, some of us do get dizzy, so you can stay facing forward, especially if you're kind of feeling a little off this morning. You can move slower, but it's inhale left, exhale right. So this breath practice not only kind of rebalances the body, the right and the left hemispheres of the brain, but it also activates the frontal lobe, which is where our higher reasoning comes in, right? Where we make better decisions, more informed, so that we're not acting out of emotion, but out of a more witness state. Ten more seconds. Stretch through your chest. And then place both hands on your heart, stand tall. Hold at the top of your breath as if you're bringing all that energy to your heart, all the way up to your brain. And then exhale. Arms are going to stretch up. Big stretch up from your spine. Then on the exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. And like you're sweeping, arms come up and back. So as you breathe in, imagine bringing lots of energy up, almost like you're reaching towards the sun. And on your exhale, imagine that you're sweeping through your energy field and kind of removing anything that doesn't need to be there. Inhale. Bend the knees, long spine. You can go as slow as you want or as fast as you want. It can be an open mouth exhale if you'd like, or you can keep breathing through the nose. Just a couple more. And all the way up, stretch. Bring all that energy up from your feet, all the way up through your hands. And then exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need and let your head go. And feel all that good energy that you cultivate in your core and your ribs kind of floating towards the head. You can bend and straighten your legs, wiggle them a little bit. And then as you're ready, bend those knees generously, lengthen the tailbone and roll up nice and slow. And then we're going to widen the feet a little bit so that the toes are out, heels are in. And just wake up those shoulders. So I'm going to, I'm zipping up and then open up. So pull it up. Like big shoulder circles here. So you can even do it this way if you prefer. But we're rotating up and back. And then just switch the direction. So up. So we're now bringing up the back chain of the body. Just getting those shoulders warmed up. Okay. Arms reach up, hook your thumbs, turn your toes to face forward. Another side stretch. Come back to the center, unhook, rehook the opposite way, side stretch. And then arms reach up. And then on your waist, exhale, fingers forward, thumbs back, lift your chest, and then hinge at your hips, fold forward. You need your hands to the floor, please do that. I'm going to take a moment to maybe glide your hips side to side. And then heel toe your legs a little closer together so you can bend the knees and roll up. Okay, so one more little exercise to really ground us now. You have a block rabbit. So this is a great knee strengthener. So those of you that are struggling with knee pain or discomfort, this one really gets that medial quad, which really helps keep the knee from tracking, you know, kind of like the wrong way in some of our shapes. So this is a good kind of medial quad strengthener, which helps with the knee tracking. So a wall might be helpful or just something to hold on to if you or if balance feels challenging this morning. So the difference in this pose is that it's not a squat like Utkatasana. We're going to bring the knees forward, right? So it's a little bit different, but not too far forward. Okay, and we're going to lift the heels. And you're going to straighten the legs, and you're going to do little squats here. So it's knee forward squats, shoulders over hips. So you got to find your core. So hands can be here, and that can give you a little core awareness, or grab a wall. So it's a little shallow, right? And I want you to imagine as you're kind of lifting up through that plumb line that's nice and long, the knees just travel forward. Then you squeeze through the inner thighs to the core as you lift up. Okay, so we're gonna do like 20 of these, so just keep breathing. And as we're strengthening the legs, right, strengthening these quads, which we're gonna stretch today, just kind of waking up that sense of grounded, stable, strong energy that you will take to remain steady no matter what the day offers you. No matter what Trump does, right? Guys, always be able to stay steady. Okay, last 3. And then just let your heels come back, fold forward. And then I'm going to come to the top of my mat, have blocks handy if I need them. Come to that forward fold again, shake it out. Have a halfway lift, stretch your spine long. Make sure you lengthen from the pelvis through your crown of your head. Exhale, fold. And then both knees down to all fours. Okay, we're going to kind of wake up a little bit more through the core and through the back of the hips. So we're going to inhale, lift your heart, lift your legs. So the leg is going to lift a little higher than normal. Exhale, knee to nose, round. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, feel that length from chest to toe. Exhale. Inhale. Keep going, forceful exhale. Make sure you really feel that lift of the leg through your glutes. 2 more. 1 more, hold. And on the exhale, tuck your left toes under and lift your right leg up and back. Bend the knee and lift through the thigh bone to feel a right thigh front of the hip stretch. So I'm bending the knee, using my hamstring and glute to lift through that left heel. I'm not turning the hip. My thigh bone faces down. Then I'll step the right leg forward between my hands and drop to my left knee. So if you have a strap and you'd like to use it, go ahead. Otherwise, clasping the hands as you lift up. Punch those knuckles down, breathe out. And for a moment, just kind of let the hips come forward or back a bit, just to kind of open the hips in and out, in and out. And then can you feel a lift from your core up through your heart that kind of lifts you up? Can you feel a descending energy that grounds you into your right heel, reaches back through your left? Now take another deep breath in. And on the exhale, as we kind of lean forward, tuck your back toes under, and you're going to come to humble warrior, which is basically warrior 1 with a bowing. So my right hip moves back. I have a little bit wider stance than heel to heel. And I'm keeping that buoyancy in my chest as I surrender my head and neck. So nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. 1 more breath. Stay strong in that back leg. And on the inhale, release your hands and come all the way up, high lunge. Pop your back heel up. So now you're in a high lunge with your back heel lifted. And we're going to kind of lean forward a bit, and I'm going to reach and grab my left foot for a thigh stretch. So I'm not trying to do dancer pose yet. So I can have one or both feet back, heel to my rear, tailbone long, left knee down. So I can just have one hand up, or if I want to have both hands pulling back, I can kind of pull the heel a little bit more vigorously in. But I'm feeling tailbone long, knees trying to track side to side. Just stretching through that foot. If I have both hands, I can get a nice little foot stretch, which can be nice. Okay, one more deep breath. Now you have an option here. So one option is to take the right arm forward, to kind of bend at that right knee hip hinge, and it's like a warrior three dancer. So I am in warrior three, hand can be at the heart, leg back. That's one option. If that option doesn't feel good, just bind the arms and come towards warrior three. Now lift from your core so that you're lighter on your right thigh. Keep that neck long. One more deep breath. And then step back with your left leg. Straighten both of your legs back, heel lifted, arms reach up. And on the exhale, hinge forward, arms back. So keeping our spine nice and long. Kind of feeling those shoulders on your back, triceps engage. Hamstring stretch as I work the right hip back. I feel that lift and lengthening out through the core. One more deep breath here. And then fold over your right leg if you want, let the head go. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then go ahead and allow that left knee to come to the floor. I had to kind of adjust here a bit. So I'm going to back up a bit so that I can be more upright completely. If you need to pad your knee, once again, you're going to be kind of forward of the patella, so you're not directly on the patella. So I have to come a little bit forward for this. Either loop with the strap or reach back with your hand and grab your foot. So same pose as we did standing. I'm going to draw my heel in. Maybe it's both hands. So I can just stay upright. I could work that. Or if I want to get deeper into the hip flexors, if I let my hips go forward, I can let the foot go back. Both hands holding or no hands holding. It can just be here. Okay, so you're choosing if it's more quad, which is more directly up and down, or more hip flexor if you let the hips come forward, right? You can have double binds or one arm up. And the 5 breaths really work that opening at the front of your hip, right? That is that muscle of the psoas, right? That we talked about that, I think last month, where we were working on really that stepping into our life, stepping into our creativity, our potential. That is our forward moving muscle. Okay, we have one more deep breath. And then on the exhale, slowly let the foot and the hand go. Step into your plank pose. Take a moment to resituate. On the exhale, lower to your belly. We're going to do 3 back bends. The first is cobra, so set your hands up. Press to the tops of your feet, anchor your pubic bone down, pull your navel back. Then as I glide the hands back, my heart reaches up and forward. I want the shoulders down your back really vigorously so that your neck is long. Couple deep breaths here. And then all the way down. Hands back, palms down. For this one, it can be palms up or palms down. But press into the earth and draw your shoulder blades back and down. If you're reaching your fingers towards your toes. When you're ready, lift arms, lift legs. Feel the inner seams of your legs rotate upward. So not towards one another, they rotate upward, which neutralizes your legs. One more. And all the way down. Plant your hands. You're going to keep your knees down for this one if you'd like. Straighten your arms for upward facing dog. Draw those elbows in towards one another. Widen through your collarbones. And then using your core, come up, knee plank, downward facing dog. And just reset here.
So anytime we're in down dog, you can bubble your lips, sigh, anything that feels good. It kind of allows you to kind of be like, oh yeah, resetting. You can go right into that breath of fire that we did as well. Okay, let's bring our knees down to the earth. We're gonna do left side. So that's that back bend we were working with, the left leg back, the heart forward, inhale, and then exhale. And I want you to feel your core on the exhale. Let this be kind of a breath practice to wake back up your core. 3 more. And then hold, heart lifts, thigh lifts. We find that lift from the heart to the heel, tuck your right toes under, 3 leg down dog. And then your heel will reach back towards your glute, and I'm lifting that thigh bone skyward. Not so much that I rotate my hip, but that I feel a front left thigh stretch. And then step your left leg forward between your hands. Pad your knee if you need to, knee down. Come on up to that lunge. So if you can, strap if you need it. Otherwise, you can just bind your hands and lift. And I might come in and out a few times. The benefit of coming out is lifting through the core is much easier, so that when I release down, I can let the hips release, but I haven't disengaged my core. So you can kind of play with that. Core lifts, hips release. How do I do both at the same time? Chest is proud. And then maybe I stay for an extra breath or two. Really letting those knuckles punch down, widening collarbones, neck is free. Now tuck your toes under. As I hinge forward just a bit, I'm going to seal my back foot flat like a warrior one. Take a moment to draw left hip back. Strong work in the upper back. And then I fold. And this is the opportunity to release your neck and your head. So with the heart open, kind of imagine any energy in your brain that feels heavy, just letting it go. Neck tension. Stabilize that left hip towards your midline. Stabilize that right leg like a strong anchor. One more deep breath. Releasing your bind, come all the way up. And then pivot so that your back heel is lifted. Now you're in a high lunge. And then your right arm can go back to prepare. Step into your left foot and grab onto your foot. So foot or ankle. And again, I can have one arm up so that I stay lifted and just draw that heel to my bone without the knee coming forward. Or I can take both hands back and I can widen my elbows, okay? So we're trying to get a more quad stretch. That's why when the knee goes forward, we don't have that space, right? We want the knee to stay right in line. So keep breathing. And then remember your choices. Warrior 3 with a bind. So basically I'm gonna hip hinge, keep my bind in my foot. So like so. So it's different than dancer in that I'm not trying to lift my heart. Or I bind with warrior 3 with bound arms. Keep allowing that left inner thigh to stabilize. Your pelvis is lifting. And then step on back, back heel lifting, arms reach up. So I have my legs like shoulder width apart. And as I fold forward, arms sweep back. Feel the triceps engage here. That's going to help lift your arms so that your chest stays open. Slide your pelvis to the right by firming that left inner thigh, which will kind of unbind some tension in the hip. Then fold on the exhale if you'd like. Hands to the blocks or the floor if you want. Let the head go, shake it out. And then go ahead and bend the left knee and set the right knee down. I'm going to have to adjust my stance. And I'm going to come back so that I'm more 90-90. Now you are on the patella for this, so it is different. But as I reach back to grab my foot, now I should transfer weight to the top of the patella. So I can either stay more upright and I'll feel more quad, or as I let my hips come forward, right, I'll feel more hip flexor. So you can decide, maybe go back and forth. Maybe you kind of like both. I can have one arm up or stay with the hand on my thigh. If I'm feeling really adventuresome today, I can have both hands on my foot. Some really good deep breaths, you guys. Like really breathe into this. These are big muscles, big energy movers. Kind of imagine that breath kind of dissipates any fear held in the body, because fear tends to like to go to the quads and the hip flexors. Stress, anxiety, anything that contracts our energy, this is where it tends to like to go. And then on your exhale, release it out. Come to plank pose. Now we did that vinyasa, so go ahead and come all the way to your belly. We did it slow. Now I'll let you go through it one movement, one breath. Cobra, locust, and then upward dog if you want it, or just repeat one of the other two. So I'm going to inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Locust, I can lift the arms if I want. Lower. And then I can lift the knees or keep them down if I want. And then downward facing dog. Bubble out your lips. Okay, set the knees down. This time kickstand your left leg to the left, straighten your right leg, and come to a modified side plank. So my knee is down, I can adjust it, my right foot is flat. Take your right arm and reach it over your right waist or your right head. Feel that right foot press as you stretch through your right arm. I can look down if I want. Now lift your right arm up, and then lift your right leg up using the strength of your right hip. Feel your kind of ribs draw inward towards your hips, your tailbone to draw forward. So either stay here, or if you can, either bring the knee forward to grab the foot or go heel to your butt. I like grabbing outer foot, kick foot into hand, and open your chest. Stay connected to your core. So the core is reaching towards the heart, is also reaching back towards that foot. And then as you're ready, slowly release, come back out the way you can. Step the right foot down, and then pivot up. Pop the right toes up, and then come into Parigasana gate pose, which is like triangle pose. So my hips do swivel, left hip forward, right hip under. Left arm up and over, or you can grab a block. This can be really nice sometimes to grab a block here. Neck release works. So feel that release of energy through your right inner thigh. So that's a big place to really feel a release right now. So keep allowing yourself to lengthen both sides of your spine. Okay, take that left arm up, reach all the way up, and then cartwheel all the way down. Take your right leg and lift it up and back. This time, bend the knee, turn the thigh out, and roll the hips. So now I should feel a little bit of right thigh opening as well as twisting. Try not to twist from your right shoulder. So can you flatten that right armpit down towards the floor? So the twisting is happening through the torso, not the shoulders. Right leg forward, warrior two. So heel to arch, windmill those arms up and around. Arms are going to reach up, stretch, and then exhale, you're doing a pull-up. Pull those shoulders down your back. Inhale, the arms come up. Pull those shoulders down your back. Two more. Keep it out, straighten your right leg. Bring the tailbone forward, side body long, and come into a triangle with your arms on your back. So the back stays open, chest stays proud. And if you want to splay your arms, you can and find a block. If you want to just keep them like so, you can. I can even turn and face down if I feel my neck is bothering me. Right waist lengthens, find your core. And then bend your right knee, reverse your warrior. And then coming back to warrior two, this time to bind the arms. So find that bind. So I'm going to turn a little towards the right to that bind, but now I want to kind of recenter my waist as I come into side angle. So I'm using the right arm to draw the left shoulder back so that I can turn my waist, not my hips. And I can let the head go, and that can be a nice little neck release, or I can look down. Feel the strength of your back body, letting your shoulders relax, your chest open. Okay, one more. Now free your arms. Take your left hand to your waist and your right hand to a block. So here's two options. One is go into half moon without using your hand, just pull the heel back. If you want to use your hand, grab onto your foot and do the same thing we just did, but on the other side. A bent right knee can oftentimes help the knee tracking. So you guys really pay attention to if your knee is at the center of your foot or if your knee is tracking towards the big toe. We don't want it to do that. So sometimes that means there's a tightness in the adductors, so bend the knee for that. So 5 breaths, either just heel back or plain half moon, or you're binding, okay? And then when you're ready, come back to warrior 2 just to reset, arms out. Releasing your arms, draw your shoulder blades up towards your ears, and then exhale them back and down. 2 more times, inhale, back and down. And then cartwheel the hands down to the floor. Plank pose. Take a nice deep breath, and then on your exhale, you can just pick one of those shapes, the 3 of those shapes for the trilogy, or you can just pick whatever you feel and hold. I'm going to do the trilogy. Maybe you're binding hands. But we'll all meet in child's pose or down dog, your choice. Nice deep breaths, bubble your lips, sigh, all that to dissipate energy. Okay, let's kneel down. Kickstand your right leg out to the right, straighten your left leg, and then peel the left arm up. And then the left arm's gonna go over your head for a big stretch. I'm actually pushing into the floor with my left foot to really give that left side body a stretch. The left arm is gonna come up. I'll lift the left leg up and I can just stay there and not hold on to the foot, or I can reach back and hold on. Sometimes bringing the knee forward allows you to grab the foot a little easier, so that's okay too. Kick foot into hand so that you glide the chest forward. Nice deep breaths, you guys. And then let it go nice and slow. And then coming up to kneeling, I'm gonna pivot and I'm gonna have my left toes up. My hips turn. So it's like triangle. I kind of let the right hip release as I pull the left hip under. And I'm gonna use a block. And again, we could have the arm up, the arm over, or a neck release. But do your best to feel a release of this left inner groin. Lengthen that left side of your waist as much as your right, twisting that torso. Okay, one more breath. And then slowly cartwheeling the hands down to the floor. It's the left leg that comes up. Bend the knee, turn the thigh out, roll the hip, keeping your shoulders square so the twist starts to originate right above the rib cage. That's where you start to feel that rotation happening. That right hip draws back. Okay, take a nice deep breath in, and then left leg forward, warrior 2. Heel to arch, come on up. Nice work, you guys. Arms reach up to get your side body long, like you're doing a pull-up. Pull down. Arms reach up. Pull those shoulders down your back. One more. Nice. Keep the shoulders back so you have a little bit of work in your upper back. Straighten your left leg. If you need to adjust your stance, do so. Shift your hips back so that your left hip pulls under. Lengthen waist, find your core and hip hinge. It might just be a little mini triangle. And if you want to straighten your arms, of course you can. This doesn't work for your neck, look down. Give me a nice little neck stretch. Not too long here. Keep feeling those feet press apart as your core lifts. And then bend your left knee, reverse warrior. Little side stretch for a break. And then taking your arms out to the side, bind the arms, the non-habit forming. So it's always left thumb on top, do right thumb on top. And if you need a strap, this is where you'll use it. So again, when I start to bind, I'll notice my body turns to the left. So before I do this, I'm going to make my right waist come back a bit. So as I come towards this side angle, my left waist stays long. And I can let the head go or turn down. Really pulling that right shoulder back with my left kind of draw. And that helps the neck release. Okay, nice big breaths here through the neck as you're feeling these strong, stable poses. Wake up your vitality. Okay, releasing the bind, hand to waist, hand to thigh or a block if you have it. So remember, it can be a half moon in which you just lift the leg up and maybe curl heel in. Maybe you don't worry about the bind. Maybe you just kind of reach back and see if it's handy. And then we have 5 breaths. So really, everybody look down at your knee. Make sure your left knee is in the center of your foot. If it's tracking towards your big toe, you need to bend your knee and put more weight in the heel. So it's really important for knee health. This is where we tend to like overcompensate, and we'll create a lot of tensioning through that inner knee, those tendons. Okay, so one more breath. And then go ahead and land in warrior 2, shoulders down, and just kind of shrug up and down, just kind of shaking out your arms and your shoulders. Nice. And then hands to the floor. So again, you can do the trilogy, cobra, upward dog. Or this time I'm going to suggest, if you want Sphinx pose, go ahead and come into Sphinx. Shoulders, elbows, lift the heart. Kind of pull back with those arms at the chest open. And then we'll come back to downward dog when you're ready. Okay, we're going to twist it out for final little flow here. Okay, go ahead and put your knees down. Balancing on your right leg, reach your left leg back. Take your right arm out to the side and twist. So your left toes can come down if that's too much, right? Or they can come up. And now put your left foot down for a moment, and we'll just bring that right arm up and back, like you're doing a big rainbow. Up and back, just to kind of teach the shoulder to move back. This time when you go up and back, reach back and grab the foot for a twist. So my right knee is down, and I open and twist to the right. One more deep breath, kick into that left foot, and then release it out, hands down to the floor. We'll take that right leg up and back. Once again, bend the knee, roll the hip. And then step the right leg forward, step the left knee down. So I'm going to use a block for my left hand. This is very similar to what we just did. I'm going to have my hand turned out slightly. Right arm's going to go forward. And first, again, just 3 times, do these shoulder passes. Just to, again, train the core to reach out of the hips. And on the 3rd one, either stay with your arm back, and you can just bend the knee. Or if you can, reach back. I'm grabbing outer foot thumb up. You can grab inner foot thumb down. And I like the block because this is a challenging shape for the hip flexors, right? So I want the hips to relax, unless I'm very overly mobile, then I might want to pull in a bit. Twist from your waist, draw your right shoulder back. Make sure that left shoulder is not eating your ear. So I should feel a lot of twisting and turning. Nice big opening to that left frontal hip. Big breath in, you guys, big breath out. Nice. Okay, slowly let go of that foot. Frame your right hand with your feet And then you're going to pop into a warrior one stance. So first just get your legs situated and then come all the way up. Warrior one. So I'm going to give you lots of choices for warrior one. Option one, bring hands at the heart. And you're just going to twist, hovering. And I won't touch anything. If I'm able to touch and hold in warrior one, I can. If that's too much, pop your back heel up. And then the final option is if I want to put my hand on a block, either hand up or hand at waist. Put your thumb in your right hip pocket to draw it back so that you allow your pelvis to be more centered than out to the right, okay? So you're choosing whatever of those postures work for you. So I'm twisting my waist, I'm stabilizing through that left frontal hip. One more deep breath. And then hands to the floor, standing splits. So for this one, bend the knee and roll the hip just like you did, but reach your right hand back to grab the inner foot. So I can bend the right knee if I need to, and my left leg is wide. So my left thigh is pointing, my left knee pointing to the side. The more I lift this, the more I get a nice little groin stretch and a frontal hip stretch. So stay here if this is fun and interesting. Otherwise, bend into your right knee, make sure that knee tracks, and come up to revolve dancer. So your hips are square, my thigh is a little wide, and my heart lifts. And I kick foot into hand. And then just let that go. Wherever you guys are, step back to that high-heeled straight leg lift. So here's our final twist. I'm going to give you some choices. If balancing feels like not what you want today, then I want you to take those arms to the side, hip hinge, and then you're going to find that twist with the back heel lifted. You'll just work revolved triangle. If you want to add on to that, bend the right knee, take the block with you, reach back and grab your foot, and it's revolved half moon. Similar to what we just did. So it's like the warrior three we did. Now we add a twist. It's very challenging because this thigh wants to drop. So you got to do the work of your glutes to lift. Watch that knee. 5 breaths. Either revolved triangle with the back heel lifted, so you can be more strong through your legs and buoyant through your core, or grab the bind, or float the back leg. Okay, one more breath. And then hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose, all the way to your belly. Let's do Sphinx pose, so bring the elbows down. Heart lifts. And then allow the head to come down. You can come up to a knee plank, forearm plank, to widen upper back, find your core. Or you can tuck your toes and walk your feet in dolphin pose. Remaining 5 breaths. Shake that head out. Okay, walk your feet back out if you need to, or just drop the knees. Palms face up, child's pose. Okay, slowly come up. One more side, you guys. So if you need to come forward in cat-cow or take a jaunt and down dog just to get yourself reset. Maybe some open mouth exhales. Here's our final side. So step your left leg back. And you'll lift that leg, and we're gonna, no, is it the right leg back, isn't it? Yep, the right leg back. Left arm out, and then we twist. And then we're gonna put the foot down, and then here's that reach forward, out, and back. Reach forward, out, and back. Really rotating the shoulder. And then this next third time, we reach back, we grab the foot, and it's a little bit of a twist. You can grab inner foot or outer foot. Kick into that foot with your hand with the foot, so that you can feel that thigh bone lift. And then when you're ready, set the foot down. It's the left leg that lifts. Bend the knee, roll the hip. Remember, shoulders stay square. Left hip draws back. And then left leg forward, warrior one. Come on up. Find your warrior one, and this is where you get to choose if you want to do warrior one, hinging forward into hovering. This is more core work, less kind of ability to rest on the thigh. Some of you might can hook. If hooking doesn't feel good, but you want a deeper twist, hand on the block, left arm up. Now I have to move my left outer hip back and in a bit. And another way to do that is by firming that left inner thigh line and the right inner thigh line, like drawing them from the hips to the earth. And that's another way to kind of lift the hips to square. Okay, take another really deep breath, twist a little deeper. And then hands to the floor, right knee to the floor. And this is where I'll put my right hand on the block, turn it out. I can widen my left foot a bit and turn it out as well. Left arm forward, and then I reach up and back, making those hand passes. Keep watching that the knee is at the center of the foot, even here. And then as I reach back, I can just have a twist with my chest open, or I can reach back and grab my foot again. So I can even do a neck release here as I twist and open my chest. So the neck is never a requirement to have it lifted or the head elevated. It's actually more core work to release it. Okay, really spiraling, shoulders on your back. Let that foot go. And then step forward into standing splits. So you might want blocks under your hands. My left knee points forward, even if my left knee bends. And I'll go ahead and bend that heel to my left sitting bone, and with my left hand, I'll reach and grab it. So I'm lifting through my right outer hip to lift my right thigh, folding my heel to my glutes. I can stay here and just work this stretch, or I can bend the left knee, find the strength. Woo, and then I lost it. And we'll come up to revolve dancer. All right, let go nice and slow. And we're in that kind of scissored pose with the back heel lifted. Option one, triangle. So I hinge at the hips. My arm will come up. We've worked this one quite a bit this week, so this could be where we stay. If I'm feeling more confident, I can bend the left knee, take the block with me, and reach back, grab that foot. Same work. Now kick that foot into the hand. Keep the knee tracking. It's okay if it's not perfect, right? This is a really challenging shape. You have to have a lot of combination of things. So just watch that back knee or that front knee. Activate through your glutes. 3 more breaths. And let it go. Awesome work, you guys. Low lunge. Pick your vinyasa of choice. That could be the trilogy. It could be Sphinx. Be holding one of those shapes. Cat-cow works. Yeah, nice work. Okay. Take a moment, sit back. Take all that in, right? A lot of energy boost, hopefully. A lot of opening for these muscles. They get tight when we get stressed or constricted. Hopefully you feel a lot more open. Let's take that energy that is kind of lifting towards the heart, and now let's move it towards the brain in an inversion. So we've been working handstand if you want it, dolphin or forearm stand. You can work headstand. You can even work bridge. So I can go on my back and work bridge. But we're going to hold for either 2 1-minute holds or a 2-minute hold. Okay? Remember we used the wall before too, where you picked up or you walked up the wall. So let me know if anyone wants me to show that again, any of those options. So I'm going to start to time you. Ready? And go. Here's your first minute. So remember, gang, for your inversion, all that core work we did, belly back, tailbone long, super important to stabilize your center. Feet become the hands, so they have to reach skyward. Hands need to root into the earth from your core. You guys look awesome. Breathe a lot.
Breathe a lot. And as it gets difficult, this is where it's that mind where we decipher, do I need to take a break? Is that the best way to care for myself? Or is it, what about 5 seconds longer? Is it just that I don't want to do it, right? So that's always the practice, and there's never a wrong answer, just the curiosity. You have 5 seconds. Come on down, and if you're staying for the 2-minute, go ahead, and I'll reset the rest of us. Take another 5 seconds to breathe, to pause, feel the posture, like feel what happens when you do that. And then when you're ready, minute 2. And those of you who are doing the 2-minute hold, you have 45 seconds left. So I will let you know when it's time. Keep breathing, you guys. Keep letting the blood, the prana, drop into the brain. So all this energy of revitalization is able to be experienced through your perception, your choices, imagination, the creativity is awakened. If you're doing the 2-minute hold, your 2 minutes is finished, you can relax. Those of you that went in the second round with me, you have 5-6 seconds. So keep breathing. Of course, if you need to come down, you just come down. And everybody's down, and just taking a pose that allows you to transition. So just pausing, feeling, attuning to what shifts it in the body. Okay. Great job, you guys. Okay, we're gonna need a strap for this last little bit. A strap, and you'll be on your back. Okay. So, we're gonna lasso the right foot with the strap, and we're gonna bend the left knee. Okay, I'm gonna give you a lot of choices here for whatever will feel good. So option 1 is that left knee comes towards Baddha Konasana, so it falls to the outer rim of the left foot. This right leg's gonna open, and use your elbow to make sure you have a kickstand, or use a block at some point in your right thigh, so that you can have a little bit of like this resting, right? So don't want to be too terribly active. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like with the block. I might use high setting. I might have to kind of tilt it, but if I have it there at a good setting, it actually lets me relax a little bit more, because now I can use kind of that block as kind of something to rest into. And I can kind of dial the stretch up a bit if I want. So that's one option. And then the second option is to let this foot go all the way to the floor. And then I take the strap kind of overhead, and I just kind of allow my hips to release away from the floor a bit. And then I feel kind of this nice groin and left side body stretch. So this one's a little trickier to kind of maneuver, kind of to, kind of play with, but it's another option. So I'm gonna let you be here for another probably minute. So you're just finding whatever feels good for you. And now we're really just saturating the body with breath. So as much as you can, take nice deep breaths. Let the exhale just take care of itself. We're going to do some clearing with the breath in just a moment. So just really right now, we're just trying to pranify, just really saturate this right inner groin, hip area with lots of breath. And now take a nice deep breath in and hold your breath as if you're really intensifying and synergy around this area in your hip. So hold the breath. Concentrate that energy, and on the exhale, flush it out. Use your strap to lift the right leg up. And then here we're going to go with a different kind of twist, similar to what we've done before. Straighten your left leg.
You might want to block for this foot because we're going to take a twist. So I'm going to bring the right leg to the wall or the twist or block. Then I'm going to reach and grab my inside edge of my left foot, and I've got a bind, and my shoulders are down. So I literally like a block under this thigh, so once again, the hip can release. If it's too much to grab the bind of the foot, don't worry about it. Just let it go. You can just bend the knee. So I have the right hip over the left. The chest is open. I'm letting my groins kind of rest on the block or my inner leg. And I'm allowing myself to kind of widen through the chest as I feel this twist. Really similar to the twist we did in revolved triangle or revolved half moon. Really allowing your breath to now reach the outer right hip, the front of the left thigh, if you're binding. Really letting that breath soften, revitalize, rejuvenate the tissues in this area. And then take a giant breath in and concentrate the energy as if you're really compressing it all to this area. Put your mind there. And then on the exhale, flush it out. Using your strap, lift the leg up. And then just for a moment, we'll neutralize with the bridge. So just kind of hips down, lift hips up. Just kind of lengthening through the tailbone, resetting the pelvis. Drop your hips down, lift your legs to tabletop and press down on your kneecap so that you lower your low back towards the floor. And then feet down, and we'll go second side. So go ahead and interlace the strap onto your right above your left heel. Let the right leg widen like a butterfly pose, and then let the left leg widen. You decide how high the block is. Mine's tilted at like 45 degrees so that it can catch the lower left thigh for me. And then use the strap. Maybe use your elbow as a kickstand. So that was the first option, to really release the thigh into the block. So I'll show you again, like it was kickstands like this. Or let the foot go all the way to the floor. Take the strap over your head, and you can allow yourself to pull this leg up as high as you want and kind of pull with the strap. So this one, you get a little bit more activity through the right frontal shoulder. Everyone's just different in how they're built. So let me know if you've got questions. Really do your work to release that left groin, inner hip area, kind of that lower region of the psoas. And you're just using that breath to just like flood it with energy of revitalization. Just letting your mind just really attune to this part of your body. And then nice deep breath in. Concentrate the energy at your left groin. Hold it there. And then flush it out. Exhale. Yeah. Okay, leg comes up. Now we twist. So the right leg's going to be straight for now. And as I drop the left leg to the right, I'll decide how high up I want to twist. And it can just be here. Or I can reach with my left hand and grab right big toe line. And if that's too much, don't worry about it. You can even lasso the foot if you don't need it with the leg. I could lasso. And then I could have it here. So that's another option too. Really, these props are here to help us like make our arms longer and our legs longer so that we don't have to struggle. Okay, so finding that twist, and then you're really sending the energy of the left hip right in that right frontal thigh. That's where you're infusing your breath to give it lots of love. Kind of resetting. Just imagine that breath could like wipe the slate clean.
And then pranify, so concentrate the energy, hold on the inhale. And then exhale, flush. Release. So maybe a supported bridge if you'd like, or if you want to just pull the knees in, just anything to reset your pelvis, any final shapes that sounded really good to you. So you might like to keep the heart a little elevated by lying on blocks. So I can put the blocks like to an equal sign, right? So one above the other. And one goes around the heart, around the back of the heart, where like, you know, like a heart rate strap, bra strap is, and one at the head. And you can cross the ankles or Baddha Konasana. That can be kind of a nice kind of little heart lift. You can have the blocks outside your thighs if you want more of that passive. So go ahead and take a moment and send the breath to your belly. And just for a few rounds of breath, just kind of feeling the belly expand and then contract. And just really feeding this center of your body in which you make the choices that empower you, that allow you to feel aware of how you are utilizing your energy, how you are presenting yourself and your authenticity and your truth. Deep breath in and hold at the belly. Let it go. Feeling a few cycles of breath at the heart space. Feeling the generosity that you can extend to yourself and all that you meet, all those that you meet. May we approach our life through love. May we, as Rachel Shirt said, be nice humans. Even in the midst of a lot of examples of people not being very nice humans. May our energy be stronger. Take a deep breath into the heart, hold, concentrate that energy. Exhale, flush. Bringing the breath to the third eye, the space between your eyes, that place of insight, perspective, innovation, the way of seeing things differently. Creative solutions to the same old things. New ways of looking at life. Deep breath in, holding up the space between your eyes and your brain. Flush on the exhale. And then a few breaths just breathing into the entirety of your body. Exhale, flushing all the energy centers. And just keep breathing and allowing yourself to just rest for a moment before you begin the rest of your day. Resting in this place of sovereignty, of deciding how you'll spend your energy, what kind of attention you'll give to your day, how you'll greet every opportunity, expected or unexpected. I'm going to read to you a poem called On the World Road as you just breathe and attune. Bountiful One, guide us on the world road. When we are lost, bring us, please, to the next step on our way to you. When the road is obscured with fog, shine your luminous rayos upon it. Mother Luminosa, when life grows cold and harsh, cover us with your starry mantle. Black Madonna, burn away our terror of the unknown twist ahead. Tender Guardian, remind us to rest, send rain to slake dry lips, hard hearts. Merciful Madre, when we go astray, lift us from the ditch of depression, set us again on the way. Medicine Mother, when we lie on the road, injured and vulnerable, tend us. Woman who mends, when we meet the injured of spirit, put it in our hearts to see beyond any posturing, any crimes.
Generous one, help us to bandage wounds and give to the sad of heart your soft word of encouragement. Companion of the traveler, walk with us when we feel abandoned. Goddess, mother of the crossroads, guide us on the world road. Bring us home to one another. So feeling your heart in connection to all the hearts. Feeling the power of our energy when we move from this integrated place of wisdom. Feel your part in the whole. To whether it's a menial task of washing the dishes and sweeping, or it's an important conversation, or an act of service or activism. May the energy that we bring to all things be that of our highest self, that of our wisest self, our most compassionate and loving self. May we be way showers and light bearers. So breathe this prayer, this wish, this intention upon yourself in whatever ways it feels meaningful. Wiggle your fingers and toes like you're sending that energy to every nook and cranny in your body. And then slowly come up to a seat, bowing your head to heart, honoring this practice, the sacred act of infusing our mind, our body, our breath, our spirit into synergy. Yoga being skill and action, the skill of living, the skill of engaging with life with our fullness. Take a breath in. Deep breath out. Arms reach up, reach. Exhale, send it out. The light in me honors the light in you, friends. Namaste.